Good morning to one and all. I am Sudha, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Computer Science. My subject, Computer Architecture. My topic, Pipelining. Pipeline and vector processing, parallel processing, pipeline instructions, instruction pipeline, array and vector processing. Now we are going to discuss. What is meant by parallel processing? It refers to the technique that are used to provide the simultaneous data process. The system may have two or more ALUs to be able to execute two or more instructions at the same time. The system may have two or more processors operating concurrently. It can be achieved by having the multiple functions unit that perform the same or different operations simultaneously. The execution of current event in the process to achieve the faster computational speed. Level of parallel processing, job or program level, task or procedure level, inter-instruction level, intra-instruction level. Processor with multiple functions. We are using an adder, subtractor, integer multiply, logic unit, shift unit, incrementer, floating point, add or subtract, floating point multiply, floating point divide in the process register to the memory. We are using a processor in pipeline. In parallel processing computer, there are variety of ways in the parallel processing can be classified. Internal organization of processor, interconnection structure between the processor, flow of information through the system. Architectural classification based on the multiplicity of instruction stream and data stream. Instruction stream we are using a sequence of instruction read from the memory. Data stream operations performed to the data in the processor. Number of instruction streams single and multiply. Number of data stream single, multiply. In single instruction, single data. SISD means single instruction stream, single data stream. SIMD, single instruction stream, multiple data stream. Multiple instruction, single data. MISD, multiple instruction, multiple data. MIMD. SISD represents the organization containing the single control unit, a processor unit and a memory unit. Instructions are executed sequentially and system may or may not have internal parallel processing capabilities. Single instruction multiple data represents an organization that includes many processing units under the supervision of common control unit. Multiple instruction single data structure. Theoretical interest is no practical system has been constructed using this organization. MIMD, multiple instruction, multiple data organization refers to a computer capable of processing several programs at the same time. Classification emphasizes the behavioral characters of the computer system are shown in the diagram. Operation and the structure interconnections. One type of parallel processing that does not fit in the classification. Client's classification is pipeline. Parallel processing can be discussed. Pipeline processing, vector processing, array processing. In pipeline techniques, decomposing a sequence process into a sub-operations, which is sub-operations being executed in special dedicated segments and that operates concurrently with all the segments. Each segment performs the partial processing dedicated by the way task is passed. The result of each segment is transferred to the next segment. The final result is obtained when data have passed throughout all the segments. Performance improvement, multiprogramming, spooling, multifunction processing, pipelining, instruction level parallelism, superscalar, super pipelining, very long instruction word. A pipeline technique, we have to perform the following tasks A, B, C for I equal to 1, 2, 3. A, B, C is a memory, R1, R2 is a register, R3, R4 also register. We conclude the final output in the R5. R1, R2 multiplier where the value received R3, that is R3 register, and R4 memory C is an R4, the value will be stored in R4. R3 and R4 value added, after that we got R5 result. Segment, we are using a 3 segment, segment 1 that is a memory, segment 2 multiplier value, segment 3 final output, loaded and final output. Each sub-operation is to perform in the segment within a pipeline. Each segment has 2 or more register and combinational circuit. In these operations, each pipeline stages the clock pulse number 1 to n number of values. We are using a 3 segments R1, R2, R3, R4 and R5. R1, R2 are stored in first segment, R2 second segment, R3 and R4 are stored in third segment, R5. In first segment R1 and R2, we are multiply the value. After the segment 2, R3 the value will be stored. R4 is in a C memory. Then R4 value, R3 value will be added. The final we got in the R5 value. The general pipeline instructions, the general structure of 4 segment pipeline using the clock cycle, input segment 1, 2, 3, 4 and the register 1, 2, 3, 4. In the space diagram we are shown in the time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The segments are stored and the cycling will be repeated. Same process for the cycling R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. Then we using a segment pipeline clock TP is used to execute a task. The first task T1 requires the time to complete the task of K segment. Remaining n-1 task emerge from pipe at rate 1 task per cycle. They will be complete after the time n-1. The total time required K plus n-1 clock cycle. Calculate the total cycles in this process. Now we consider the same operations, the time equal to the complete each the task. For time required, speed ratio as a number to task increasing n become much larger than k-1 and k plus n-1 approaching the value of n. Under the condition, the speed up becomes s equal to tn divided by tp. We are assuming the task in the time. Take the processor tasks at the same time pipeline and non-pipeline circuit. Tn equal to ktp, s equal to ktp by tp equal to, we got the final output. They shown the theoretical maximum speed that the pipeline can be provided is k, where k is the number of segments in the pipeline. Then arithmetic pipeline. In arithmetic pipeline, units are usually founded in the very high speed computer. They are used to implement in the floating point operations. We will now discuss the pipeline unit for the floating point addition and subtraction. The inputs to the floating point adder pipeline are two normalized floating point. One is x, another one is y. X value equal to a into 2a, y value equal to b into 2b. A and b are, capital letter A and B are shown in the diagram, that is mantissa, and small letter A and B are shown the exponents. The floating point addition and subtraction can be performed in 4 segments. In this diagram, in this chart, 4 processes are showing segment 1, 2, 3, 4. The sub operations performed in each the segment. Compare the exponents. Second one, align the mantissas. Next one, add or subtract the mantissas. Fourth one, normalize the result. In the 4 segment, first segment we comparing the A value and B value by the subtraction. After that the difference will be aligned to the mantissa. Next one, segment 2, we choosing the values, then we store in the register, then adjust the exponent. After that the register will be execute the result. The comparison result will be shown in the align mantissa. After that add or subtract the mantissa, then store the register value. After that normalize the result. These are the following steps to follow the addition and subtraction. Next, instruction pipeline. Pipeline processing can occur not only in data stream but in the instruction stream as well. All instructions fetch an instruction from the memory, decode the instruction, calculate the effective address of the operand, fetch the operands from the memory, execute the operation, store the result in proper place. Effective address can calculation done in the part of decoding phases. The operations result into the register is done automatically in execution process. Fetch the instruction from the memory, DA, calculate the effective address from the operands, fetch the operand, then execute the result. In the general, there are 3 major difficulties that cause the instruction pipeline from its normal operations. Resource conflict caused by the access to memory. 2 segments at the same time conflicts can be resolved by the separate instructions and data memories. Data dependency. Instruction depends on the result, the previous instruction, but this result is not yet available. Branch difficulties arise from branch and other instructions that can change the program counter. Thank you.